What is up, world? Welcome back. Charge the Game podcast, and raise your hand if you're tired of Stephen A. Smith. America has answered, and reports coming out, man. Stephen A. Smith fatigue is upon us. Yes, guys, Stephen A. Smith, who is known to wear 20 million hats, apparently, guys. We know he got a $100 million deal. But let's be honest, man, having Stephen A. Smith appear everywhere is just not good for the brand of ESPN. Maybe they want to allocate these roles to him because they have overly compensated him. He's making about 20-something million a year. You know, we see him on Fox News, CNN. You see him trying to be a politician or some type of presidential candidate. The Stephen A. Smith podcast. You see him making guest appearances. Patrick Bet-David, First Take. You guys name it, man. Stephen A. Smith is every single word Breakfast Club. And as of recent, guys, which really has caused this article to release this, is Stephen A. Smith's terrible coverage of the NBA Finals, man. And also, guys, the NBA draft. What is going on? Why is he everywhere? Seriously, why? And just everywhere yelling. At some point, there just has to be some type of discussion. You guys see it right away. America needs a vacation from yours truly, Stephen A. Smith. I got to give this guy his credit. He's managed to cleverly, if that's a word, he's managed to be so clever and weasel his way into the right rooms to have the right conversations. He's backstabbed so many of his coworkers, man. It's already reported that a lot of the workers, employees over there at ESPN, they really despise Stephen A. Smith. But when it comes to the casual sports fans complaining, right, you guys see it just like I saw it, man. We're going to go through another article where a lot of people blame Stephen A. Smith for ruining the NBA Finals. Guys, I can't even lie to you guys. I don't know what ESPN is doing. I don't know what Stephen A. knows about them. I don't know what secrets he may know over there from, I think it was Bob Iger or whoever he is. Like, there is no way that Stephen A. Smith, in my opinion, this isn't to discredit his work, which Jason Whitlock destroys him every chance he gets. But Stephen A. Smith is everywhere, guys, everywhere simultaneously. It's like this guy doesn't take any days off. I've noticed he's starting to, introduce his kids to the world. I think it's because Jason Whitlock is exposing him and saying things like, how is this guy a father? How is he everywhere but with his kids? But all of a sudden we see him with his kids. But we're going to come back to that, guys, as we have to discuss just the fatigueness of Stephen A. Smith. And like I told you, he's everywhere. I mean, you turn on the news, you see him. You hear him on XM Sirius Radio. You see him on the podcast. You see him on First Take. And what do we see? A whole bunch of yelling, using big words that he does not know. Loud, obnoxious, and not really covering the analysis of the game. Just there to be a personality. And in sports, the sports fans aren't there to see that. I mean, we see it with Chuck, right? Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith. They actually played, not Ernie, but Ernie's a great moderator. But the other three guys, Chuck, Kenny, Shaq, they actually bring their natural personalities. They're not being paid to be fake. They are very real. As you know, Charles Barkley has a mouth that he does not watch. Not only do we appreciate him being authentic, we also appreciate his knowledge of the game. Stephen A. Smith comes off more fraudulent, in my opinion. This comes from a publisher, Matt Yoder, from alphaannouncing.com, where it says, America desperately needs a break from the never-ending noise. It's been way too many years of one crisis after another, one more feud, one more rant, one more upheaval to our daily lives. And the stress of living under this regime has gotten to us all. While you could apply this to the man currently occupying the White House, we're talking about Stephen A. Smith. Damn. I want you guys to think about this. This guy is... They're saying you can talk all that about someone who's in the White House. As you guys know, Donald Trump is the president. A lot of people aren't fond of Donald Trump. Hey, man, I ain't got no problem with the guy. But they're talking about Stephen A. Smith. He is that obnoxious. And not to mention, guys, he's thinking about running to be in the White House. That goes to show you, man. In my opinion, I don't believe in athletes playing basketball and football and then going to do podcasts. I don't believe in sport commentators talking about sports, but then trying to run for a political position in office. I mean, it just doesn't mix well for me. I feel like you should stick to your lane. I think that Stephen A. Smith is in a I gotta have it all phase, right? I gotta be on these soap operas, General Hospital. I gotta be talking to the important people, Candace Owens and Patrick Bet-Davis, about politics. I gotta be on a Breakfast Club talking about black people and Democrats. I gotta be on First Take talking about sports and just yelling obnoxiously and race baiting. And I also gotta be on my own podcast, just being me outside of work and wearing multiple hats within that itself. And like Charles Barkley said a few months ago, he said, hey man, Stephen A. Smith is going to wear people thin. He's going to cause a lot of fatigue. And I'll be damned, guys, this article is explaining that, right? He's doing too much. In my opinion, I don't even, you're so busy, how can you really study the game? Which is probably why he yells a lot, because he doesn't pour enough craft into rehearsing and studying, looking at stats. He's not looking at that. He's too bogged down with political issues, guest appearances, and he's getting sloppy and more sloppy, which is why he yells. Because instead of me talking about X's and O's, let me yell. Let me just talk. And that's what ESPN is paying him to do. It makes no sense. And this is why Charles Barkley, the whole inside crew, Kenny, Smith, Ernie, they aren't interested in ESPN because they see how Stephen A. Smith is being showcased. It's simply embarrassing and it's obnoxious. What we need is a break, a timeout, a conscious uncoupling, if you will, if only for a brief period of time, so we can collect ourselves and rest and recover before we enter the trenches once again. Now, guys, hey, they're even listing everything that I just said. The man is everywhere, and his presence is only growing. He now has a hand in ESPN's daytime programming, SiriusXM radio, podcasting, politics, and acting, guys. You gotta love it. I mean, it's not jealousy, it's not hate. It's simply like, bro, what is your lane? We're not saying that you can't be multi-faceted. We're not saying that you can't be, we're not telling you to stay one-dimensional. Although I feel like you should just stay in the lane, right? I even think, honestly, guys, I think he's better in soap operas than he is with his sports commentating. That's my thoughts, though. Stephen A. Smith is just simply being, in my opinion, greedy. He wants every opportunity he can get. And I think that he's so infested with chasing money right now, guys. He doesn't care how he comes off. He doesn't care about the things he's saying. He's overly arrogant and cocky. He's constantly going to tell people, this is my show. This is my show. Okay, my show, right? Yeah, I already know how he does it, right? But it's causing just a lot of chaos. His peers dislike him very much. But Stephen A. Smith, all he sees is the green. That's just my thoughts. What y'all can let me know what y'all think. Those are just my thoughts. Stephen A. Smith accused of ruining the NBA draft as criticism mounts against this $100 million ESPN star. I mean, Dan Dockich completely unleashed on him. Y'all don't watch Dan Dockich. Make sure you guys go to the Outkick Network, man. I love watching Dan Dockich. He gives me old school broadcasting radio vibes. But this is what he had to say. You got to have loud. You got to have stupid. And oh, by the way, they're paying the dude $20 million a year. This is the dumbest deal in the history of television. I still say this. Can anybody show me where First Take is the highest rated show in the morning, like Smith claims? Can anybody show me where Stephen A. Smith makes the money back that he's being paid? Anybody? You can't. There's no chance. And maybe Dan Dockich is right. Stephen A. Smith, I think he's so loud and wrong that people don't focus on him being wrong. They just focus on this guy's just loud. He has to be right. He's yelling about it. Oh, we've been number one in sports radio for about 12 years straight and counting, right? And then he used these words, these big words. He talks like this, and then it makes people be like, oh, maybe he's telling the truth. I don't know. All right, but we all know, okay, guys, we all know that it can't be, in my opinion. I don't see all these ratings. I don't see people tuning in every day to hear a loud, obnoxious man who race baits, and also his coworkers do the same thing. It's like not the same ESPN at all, none whatsoever. But I myself, I grew Stephen A. Smith fatigue a long time ago. I do like some of the things that he does. I like the fact that he stood his ground with LeBron James. He's fair when it comes to Bronny James and LeBron James. Anytime he calls out things that majority of the masses are thinking, I'll always take your side. I always support a person that has the courage to stand up and say the things that go against, the mass. And he often does that with Caitlin Clark too. So I will give him credit when that's due. All right. But you guys let me know what y'all think. Stephen A. Smith fatigue, are you not? Let me know in the comment section, disagree or agree. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button and also hit that like, share, and notification bell for more future content. See you guys in the next one. Peace.